Have a look at that. Bulbasaur is flowering. Woo. Okay, let's have a look at the bonsais. Alright, here we are in the bonsai garden. Early work on a birch, I believe. Bark. I just took this from a local park, a yamadori as they call it, when you take a bonsai tree from nature. It had this really cool trunk, I thought, with this natural gin, is what they call a broken dead branch here, and another natural gin there, and this hole. Yeah, I saw this little tree and I just thought, wow, that's cool. If I can get this to root and grow, I think it'll be a really neat bonsai. Juniper is looking a little dry. I need to water that. You can see the akadama shows when it's dry, it's real light colored like that. And yeah, so I need to water this tree. But overall, making some good progress. Getting some cool looking surface roots there. So I'll keep working on that little tree. But for now, there it is. And then this here is a willow I'm growing as well. Willows grow really fast, so I'm hoping to get quite a bit of growth this year. Maybe even a few feet. They can grow like 3 or even more feet in a year. So what I'm hoping is I can develop this side of the tree to a more full canopy, and then I'll kind of have this split canopy look to it. So that's what I'm going for. I do have wiring on some of the branches, but I'm going to be taking that off. You're supposed to take it off mid-May, so I'm going to be taking that off very soon. And I got to do some landscaping here, trim this up, and I'm going to be repotting this, actually. Trimming the roots up, giving it a repot very soon. I did have some cactus die over the winter, which sucks, but the succulents actually came back. They were looking pretty sad, and they came back. These are from my grandpa. And this cactus looks like it's actually hanging in there pretty good. I just had it under a T5 bulb over the winter, along with these other trees. And they're doing pretty good. This willow here, I cut the roots and I repotted it, and some of the roots I left, I think, a little too exposed for the tree's liking, so I covered those up yesterday. And I took some of the wiring off the tree because it seemed like it was really stressing the tree out. So I'm gonna give it some time to recover. It did have a branch that died. I'm not sure if it's gonna survive or not. These buds here do seem to be growing a little bit each day, just ever so slightly. So I have hope the tree's not dead yet. Okay, let's move on to the maple. Actually, before we move to the maples, I forgot to mention this is a lemon cypress I'm working on in kind of a non-traditional style. I'm still not sure how I want to style this tree. I did have some branches die. I accidentally broke them while I was wiring, and yeah, it caused some leaves to die. I also took the wires off of this tree. I did have some branches dying for some reason. So that kind of sucks. All right, let's look at the maples. All right, here we are in the maple forest. Actually, I do have one willow that I cut off and replanted just to kind of mix up this forest a little bit. And I do have some seedlings on the way. When I get those, I'll be showing everybody what those are. Some pretty cool bonsai seedlings coming. But these maples are looking pretty good so far. I planted these last year, so these are 1 year old now, and right around this time. And last year I did something crazy. This whole thing was kind of an experiment for me. So I ended up cutting, you can see a lot of these right here when they were growing, just as a single stalk. I cut them to see what would happen, to see if maybe I could get interesting canopies out of these things. This one looks like it's budding on all 4 sides, which I'm kind of excited about actually. I thought it was kind of a harsh cut. I wasn't sure how it would do, but it is budding out. And so are the other maples. Budding out. This one budding out nicely here at the nodes. You can see these buds are swelling and the canopy's growing. I did have some leaves die due to frost actually. We did get some cold weather unexpectedly, and I keep these guys outside for the most part. Maples are pretty hardy, so I did bring them in at one point in the winter and kept them under the T5 bulb and along with the other plants, and I guess they hung on. So I'm really excited that these all survived, and I'm looking forward to getting another year's growth on these. These are all ones I took from trees in my yard. One of them being this big red maple here. So you'll see these leaves here. These are some of the other maples I took from seeds that fell in my yard, and I planted these. And I've got some budding here, some back budding from this tip dying back actually from the cold, not even from the cutting or the wiring. I did try to plant another willow in here. I don't know if it's gonna make it though. It doesn't seem to be doing very well. And I wasn't sure if this maple was alive, but this little maple here is alive and seems to be growing quite nicely. So I'm gonna keep letting him grow, as well as this guy here, getting some nice leafage on the top started here. Not really seeing the buds lower down swell, but maybe I'll see some growth there. And some more cactuses and succulents. Had significant dieback on these too. This one's actually changing color, I'm not sure. That was probably from the cold. I probably brought this out too soon, but I was anxious to get light to these plants because the T5 just was not cutting it. And I did have a little bit of this cactus here die. But there is some green on it still, so I don't know, maybe that'll sprout some more branches, if that's what you call them. And then I did plant 2 other random maples. I'll show you those. So this is this is kind of a scenery that I made last year. I planted some maples. I don't think they survived though. They seems like these died. Yeah, these are dead. So I went ahead and replanted some more that were sprouting up in my lawn, and those are doing pretty well. I gotta water all the plants yet today, but this one's doing quite well, and it has a nice natural lean in the trunk already. We'll see if it maintains that shape as it grows. But yeah, I just thought this was a cool little scene to make. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll probably change it over time, but it's hard to grow things in these planters. They dry out really quick, so I gotta come up with a solution for that. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks, I hope you enjoyed it.